that will keep the government open through the middle of February. Joining us now, Texas Congressman Jeb Hensarling, chairman of the Financial Services Committee. And we had just a news flash that Congressman Meadows says that the votes aren't there yet. What do you know, Congressman?
Well, when I flew up from Dallas this week, I left my tarot cards home, so I can't predict whether or not we're going to have a shutdown or not. I'm not the one counting votes, and with all due respect to Mark, I'm not sure he's the one who's counting votes either. So this is not a good way to do government, and frankly, I wish that the Senate was a majoritarian institution, not one in 1,000. Understand that it takes a supermajority, frankly, to keep the government open. And right now we have incredible challenges with our armed services. They need to be fully funded. I hate that we come down to this kind of brinksmanship. And for the Democrats who are claiming they're going to shut down the government over DACA, the deferred adjudication for childhood arrivals, it's an important issue. It needs to be dealt with, but it's not part of an appropriations bill. It's not funded. And so also it doesn't expire at week's end. We've got at least through into March to deal with that issue. And so to hold these issues that are separate and hold that hostage, that Democrats would hold that hostage for a vote in funding our troops, I think is unsustainable, unsupportable, and at the end of the day, I hope it does not happen.
This is what we heard would happen the last time, right before the end of last year. The Democrats sort of, I don't know, it was like a Trojan horse kind of, wasn't it? They went along with it because they were saving all their ammo for this exact time, point in time. So we shouldn't be surprised by it, right?
Well, I'm certainly not surprised by it. I can be dismayed by it. And I hope the American people will hold them accountable. And those of us in the House feel like we've done our business, as a number of people know. Discretionary spending is funded through 12 different appropriations bills. The Senate, rather the House, has passed all 12 appropriations bills. The Senate, you know, again, given that they have to have Democrat votes, have passed zero appropriations bill that left to this very clunky continuing resolution process that's just not good for anybody. And so I don't know if the Democrats think they have the high political ground, but I got to tell you, when our soldiers and sailors and airmen don't get the support they need, if they're not getting paid, I think that's an indefensible position to hold national defense hostage.
I don't know, you know, I don't know how it works, but it seems like Republicans always get blamed for government shutdowns. Yesterday, you know, on one of the websites, this was Drudge, happened to, I look at them all, but on the lead was shutdown fears grip Washington, and the headline was, although President Trump is confident Democrats will take the blame, Republicans are worried and aren't so sure. And I don't know, they quoted Charlie Dent, Congressman Dent, who said, when there are shutdowns, it's our side that always takes the hit. Do you not think that is the case? You just said that I'm hoping, you know, that Democrats will come around because they'll be seen as the ones doing it, but it never seems that it happens that way, does it?
Well, I'm more interested in the policy than the politics of it. So, you know, I'm not conducting an instantaneous
that makes you a very lonely
poll.
man in Washington right now, Jeb, doesn't it?
Well, again, what I'm concerned about is, number one, my friends over my shoulder on the other side of the Capitol coming to their senses and deciding that appropriations bills need to be passed with a majority vote instead of a supermajority vote. And I hope that everyone in the media, if the Democrats choose to hold the government hostage to an unrelated issue that doesn't even expire until a month after next, I hope, again, that at least the focus is there should that occur. So I don't think that, the blame would necessarily happen. But right now, I think it's more important that we have the right policies in place, that we make sure that our national defense is funded. But people are grumpy. I'm grumpy. Nobody likes this process. And so you spend all year going through an appropriations process, Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. You're making sure you're funding the right policies. And bam, it comes to a brick wall in the United States Senate due to their cloture rules, and you get left with these series of short-term CRs, which is a terrible way to run a business. It doesn't allow you to change the policy of the federal government. It's just a horrible way of doing business, and so my complaint today is mainly with the United States Senate. As a House member, I reserve that right.
If you
Go ahead.
If you do actually get the passage just for another temporary setup, it doesn't solve the overriding issues here. What happens with DACA? Is there a solution that can be found if there is more time
I still
to
think
find
there is a solution that can be found. I think on a number of fronts we are close. Republicans want to solve this DACA problem, but we want to make sure we don't have it again in the future. Again, we have to deactivate a number of magnets for illegal immigration.
Are you?
We do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to know, are you going to run the CFPB? Are you got another?
That's what we need to know about the CFPB and what's going to happen, though, just with this whole Dodd-Frank reform bill.
You're not done. Are you going to run
No, I don't. I announced my retirement, but that's a year away.
From Congress.
From Congress,
not
indeed.
from government.
But is there enough support?
I'm not applying for that job at the moment, and I'm very happy that Mick Mulvaney has it.
On the Dodd-Frank reform piece, is there enough support? Because there are some Republicans that say, obviously, the CFPB piece of it doesn't go far enough.
Well, it doesn't go far enough, but I'm going to see what the Senate can come up with off the floor, and hopefully we can work with that.
All right, Congressman Jeb.